to settle, let alone deal with India. The Prime Minister is choosing his moment. And I want to go straight across to Aman Sharma. I want to also bring in Payal. Both of them have been covering this meeting. Both of them are on top of the developments. Both of them know what's happening. Payal, to you first. Series of meetings, not just today, but also, of course, over the next 24 hours. This could go on. The Prime Minister barely ever sleeps. You know this. This could go on all through night also. There could be other little talks, another finessing of plans. It can go on. The Prime Minister is tireless.
Absolutely, Rahul, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that the Prime Minister's mind works 24/7. And for all those people who have been questioning where is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this is the biggest egg on their face. Having said that, a very interesting meeting is going on in the 7 LKM residence of the Prime Minister, where I'm standing outside at. That meeting is of course happening with the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. Now many people will ask you why Mohan Bhagwat is meeting Prime Minister Modi right now. You would understand that the RSS is like the elder in the family who actually probably could have just come to express the support of the Sangathan to the Prime Minister, tells the Prime Minister that he can continue with this fight, and the RSS is in this with them together as well. The RSS chief and the RSS leaders on multiple grounds in the recent since the attack have also said that there is no point of getting divided as a society. We must stand united and we must face Pakistan. Having said that, not just the meeting today that the Prime Minister had with Rajnath Singh and the three defence personnel, including the NSA himself as well, but also the fact that the Prime Minister had multiple rounds of meeting yesterday, Rahul. I remember at least 3 ministers that has a closed door meeting with the Prime Minister on various aspects on how India can actually hit back at Pakistan. Military action is something which each and every citizen is awaiting right now, because everybody wants to avenge the revenge. But there are various channels that are also working behind the doors to in fact make sure that Pakistan feels the heat. And like you were just pointing out, the heat is just being felt by Pakistan, and probably the game has just begun, because India will reply back in as many words as Pakistan really wants, and probably finish their terror-rooted activities from ground zero. That's at least what the commitment of the Prime Minister to the people of the country really is.
Right. Let me just bring in Aman Sharma. Those are important insights being brought to you by Payal. But Aman, the message has also gone out. The Prime Minister, and you've probably got that informal note where it is being very clearly put forth to us that the Prime Minister has given the army and the forces a complete free hand. What does that mean?
Well, absolutely, Rahul. I think the biggest takeaway from this very important meeting is the Prime Minister telling the 3 service chiefs, the CDS, the NSA and Defence Minister, that complete operational freedom is being given to the armed forces to choose the mode, the targets and the timing of India's response. I think very, very significant words used by the Prime Minister, what top sources are telling us, because this is a sharp contrast from what happened, if you remember, after 26/11, when there are generals on record saying they were ready, but the government never gave them the go-ahead. The Prime Minister here is telling that I have full faith in the capability of my forces. It's a national resolve to punish terrorism, not just the perpetrators, but also the backers of this dastardly terror strike. And the Prime Minister is giving complete operational freedom to the 3 forces to choose the mode, the timing and the targets of what will be India's response. The Prime Minister, Rahul, has already said earlier that this will be the harshest response. And I think I can say for sure that this particular meeting, Rahul, is about the external strike. It's not so much about the, I think, internal strike, of course, would have the terrorists who are, on the run and the forces are chasing them. But I think this meeting also has a lot of aspect about the external strike that India is going to do. We have the Rafales with the French Scalp missiles. We have the INS Vikrant and Vikramaditya fitted with BrahMos. We have the S-400 Russian defense system which can stop any intrusion into the Indian airspace. All options are there, and so the Prime Minister has made it very, very clear that the forces have complete operational freedom. I think, Rahul, something big is coming, and this meeting has perhaps given that green signal.
Well, we're not going to preempt anything, viewers. That's not our style. That's for the military to decide. Thank you, Aman. Thank you, Aman. Thank you, Payal. But I can tell you, Pakistan is having sleepless nights tonight. I want to open this up. I want to bring in the experts. General Bakshi is there with us. Major Arya is there with us. And we also have Captain D.K. Sharma. These are the people who've lived through war. These are the people who've seen action. I want to first begin with you, General Bakshi, because this is an important day. There are people in the room. You're only as good as your leadership. General Bakshi, you know this. Walk me through some of these individuals here. Tell me a little bit about what they bring to the table. You know them inside out like the back of your hand. Some of them might have been your subordinates, sir.
Yes. Rahul, At the outset, let me mention today is a historical day, so reminiscent of the 1971 war, when Indira Gandhi had given a complete free hand to Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, the then, Chairman Chiefs of Staff, right? A complete free hand to him and the three service chiefs. They had delivered beautifully. I am very grateful to God that today we have a very able team in Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan, who served as the Eastern Army Commander, has a tremendous amount of experience under his belt, is a very harmonious individual capable of taking the three services together. We have the Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi. He is from the infantry. He is from the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, my regiment. He has served all his life in Jammu and Kashmir, J&K. He was the Northern Army Commander. We couldn't have found a better equipped man, experience-wise, to handle the present situation. The Navy Chief Tripathi, Admiral Tripathi, is a towering personality, physically and even otherwise. He's aggressive, he's bold, right? In the Air Chief, we have a wonderful professional, AP Singh, who is outspoken, who is direct, punches you in the face, no holds barred. He's a thorough professional. Between them, I think we have a very good team that should deliver very welcome results.
So I'm asking you, General Bakshi,
The
I'm
other
asking
thing
you,
that I would
what does a fully loaded Indian offensive look like? Will it be diffused through several sectors or concentrated at one point to strike at the weakest part of Pakistan? What's going to be the emergent strategy? What do you think is going to happen?
Look, Rahul, the Prime Minister has given an absolute free hand and prerogative to the three service chiefs to choose their targets, modes of attack, timing and locations, right? I would trust the judgment of the three chiefs, but all that I would like to say in your generic terms is that it would be an integrated response that should combine both the overt and covert dimensions, that would combine the capabilities, the combined capabilities of all three services. Don't forget, in 1971, Rahul, the Indian Navy had struck Karachi, home base of the Pakistani fleet, twice, 4th December, 8th December. They had sunk 6 ships in the Karachi harbour. They had put the Karachi oil farm on fire so that it burned for a week. Karachi has plenty of terror targets. Dawood Ibrahim, the top logistician of the terrorist, every single terrorist attack mounted since the last 30 years is ensconced there. We have some very legitimate terror targets there. And let me now also clarify, Rahul, I do not, in my personal view, reckon that we would be confined to terror targets. The prime terrorist in Pakistan is General Asim Munir, who, to get an extension, to get himself an extension, Rahul, this man, has staged a civilizational war in a very Samuel Huntington-esque way. He gave that rambling, stupid speech. Whereas he almost tried to declare a civilizational war. And that was followed by a communal attack on the innocent tourists. This man is responsible. His corps commanders are hopping mad. This man was told by the Pakistani Air Chief, Murid Maradia, because half the Pakistani F-16 aircraft are now under upgrade. They are not available for the fight. 50% of the radars on the JF-17 aircraft are not working. No wonder Pakistan is going in full panic to the Chinese, begging for HQ-19 surface-to-air missiles to somehow stop the Indian attacks. They are begging for P-15 beyond visual range missiles. They are begging, for a more, potent J-10C fighter aircraft, because the JF-17 are proving to be useless. They are in high panic. There are reports that Chinese aircraft are coming in. We don't know with what. Even if they come in now, is there enough time for the Pakistanis to learn to handle these new weapons, right? I'm not very sure if they will be effective. There are reports that Turkey is sending in plane loads of ammunition, because you know what, Rahul? The Pakistanis, under American pressure, sold their reserve 155mm ammunition to Ukraine. Can you beat that?
Yes,
That
I'd heard
nation
about
is
that.
so cash strapped.
Yes.
And now they are now begging to sort of get these. They had a war reserve of 7 to 10 days ammunition. It's been down to 3 to 4 days. Just push this fight beyond a week, Rahul, and you will see the results.
Well, they've just gone to the IMF begging.
We have to impose.
They want money from the
deterrent
IMF. They sold
punishment.
donkeys a few months ago, viewers. Donkeys to raise money. I'm not joking. If you think I'm joking, viewers, Google it. They traded donkeys with China. China also wondered, what kind of a liability have we worn around our neck? What is this albatross? But Major Arya, I have to ask you, what's the state of play in Pakistan? I've been watching some of your videos. You have some deep insight. What's their capacity to resist? Do they literally even have the gas to fight? This is the fundamental question tonight.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your show, Rahul. I do not think a majority of the Pakistanis want to resist at all, because there is no fight left in them, and the problem is also
They don't want to
leadership.
resist. No, what do you say?
They don't want.
They're going to be like Iraq. Is it they're just going to open their door, embrace the Americans and the Praetorian Guard or whatever it was? They'll also say, "Bhai, aa gaye, thank you very much." This is what they're saying.
No. What I'm trying to say, Rahul, is that like General G.D. Bakshi rightly brought out. See, first of all, their equipment is junk. They have no leadership. There are mass resignations happening within the army. There are people within the army who are telling General Asim Munir that what you did was wrong and this will backfire spectacularly, because we do not have the wherewithal to fight the Indians. And also the fact that there is no political leadership in the country. I mean, the most popular leader of Pakistan is in jail. However he is, he's in jail. Now, what happens is that Shehbaz Sharif has very little credibility. Now, Pakistan is running around like a headless chicken. They don't know where to go. That is the problem with Pakistan. Of course.
No, but are we being a bit cavalier, Major? Let me ask you this. Let me play devil's advocate. Are we being too cavalier when we say the equipment is junk? They're a nuclear power.
Yes, they are a nuclear power, but the whole point of having a limited war or war under a nuclear threshold is this. That is what General B.P. Malik writes in his book. He says there is space for a war under the nuclear threshold where you can go in for limited strikes, punish Pakistan and come back. It does not have to go to the nuclear threshold. That's the point. And when you fight a limited war under the nuclear threshold, it is a conventional war. Of course, it will be subconventional. Of course, it will be asymmetric. Of course, it will be hybrid in nature. But however, having said that, they do not have the weapons. They do not have the equipment to face off India. And 3 or 4 days maximum by 5th day. And I'll tell you, forget about 3 or 4 days. Within the next 1 week, you will find Shehbaz Sharif frantically running around like his elder brother did during the Kargil war, going to the Clintons. You're going to have this guy running around the world saying, stop this war and India is attacking us. It's going to happen right in front of you.
You're sure about this? You believe
100%.
that those fault lines are now irreconcilable in Pakistan? There are also mutinies. There are insurgencies. The Pakistani army, 80% of its resources have been depleted, we are being told, because they blasted them off trying to control the mutinies, Major.
Absolutely. Also trying to see now the Pakistani army is significantly shifting from the Durand line to the line of control. There are talks of various divisions which are moving, and which leaves the entire space empty for the Baloch freedom fighters, for the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, for the Afghans to come there and attack. And this is going to happen. 3 days back, we saw an IED blast in which 10 Pakistani soldiers were killed. That was done by the DLA. So you're going to have more such incidences because it's like a vacuum that has been created, right? People have moved away because this is clear and present danger. This is happening now. India is unlocking right now. And this is what the Pakistanis fear most.
Unlocking right now. And that's what the Pakistanis fear the most. General Bakshi, before I bring in Captain, before I bring in Sanju Verma to get the political dimension in on this, and of course, Dr. Ranganathan, to get a slightly more civilian-orientated perspective also on this. We need also Indians their voice to be represented. Where do they stand on this conflict? But General Bakshi, I have to ask you this question because it's an important one. Look, we're not, we might today feel smug about the fault lines in Pakistan, but we're also a bit spread out. We have forces at the LAC. Do we have breathing room to pull them back? You've often talked about a 2.5 front war. We have Bangladesh. It's gone clearly into the Pakistani sort of sphere of influence. There's a China perspective there also. You have strategic depth now as far as Pakistan is concerned, especially with Bangladesh acting up. Yes, Afghanistan is perhaps, if not neutral, at least tending towards India. That gives us some breathing space. But are we too far stretched right now? How do we ensure that we can actually hit punch and degrade Pakistan's military infrastructure enough so they don't retaliate?
Look, Rahul, this has been an Indian strategic dilemma all along. In 1971, you have to declare your Schwerpunkt, your point of main effort. We decided that Bangladesh would be the point of main effort. We focused maximum resources there, shifted resources from the west to prop up the resources in the east, especially for river crossing resources, bridging resources, air power resources. We gained absolute air, not superiority, but absolute air dominance over the skies in Bangladesh. The Indian Navy, as I told you, did a spectacular job of cutting off the two wings of Pakistan, and we went for the kill in that particular sector. In the west, we fought a holding action, offensive defensive action to just hold the line, and make small gains somewhere to keep Pakistan off balance. You focus on your Schwerpunkt, as the Germans call it, your main point of effort. The main point of effort now is Pakistan. Even if China comes in, we have already adequately put in adequate troops there, and thank God we did not withdraw those troops. So even if the Chinese want, even I'm saying the worst case scenario of the Chinese thinking of intervening on Pakistan side, they will only supply weapons, right? But if they go try to go one step beyond, they know exactly what the score is and how we are postured in Ladakh and elsewhere, right? So we have catered for all fronts. I think we should trust our armed forces and go right ahead. Yes, we would have been far happier if we had 1.80 lakh troops had not been reduced. If we had the 120 more Jaguars, we would be very Rafales and the 5th generation fighters, also a lot more of the ATAG. But we will fight with what we have, as General VP Malik had said in 1999. And let me tell you, what we have is adequate to, impose deterrent costs and consequences on Pakistan. We should hold firm. We should hold on. It's the matter of willpower now, exercising willpower to stay the course. It will not be a one ladder step up the escalation ladder. It could be 2, 3, it could even be 4.
Okay.
Right? We should stay the course. We should stay the course.
Okay. Captain Sharma, let me bring you in. Let's talk a little bit about an theatre that we tend to ignore, which is, of course, the Arabian Sea. Now, there has been a lot of debate in the military about aircraft carriers, their fungibility, their feasibility, their efficacy, etc., need to have it. Now, we have this massive machine. How effective will it be against Pakistan? What can it do?
Rahul, good evening, and good evening to your viewers.
Good evening, sir.
After getting your question, rest be assured, there are 2-3 things which I'll put out very clearly. First is, it will be an attack which will be unprecedented.
Okay.
We have waited, and today the green flag has been given by the highest authority of the country, which means he must have discussed with all the 3 chiefs, and as you saw, the defense minister as well as NSA was there. So it is not that we are rushing into things. It will be a very patient, precise, and a very potent attack whenever it happens. And number 2, let me tell you, the best domain awareness in this part of the world is what Indian Navy is capable of. So when you're saying the extent of the coast of Pakistan, 300 kilometers or 300 nautical miles, as we say, it is going to be thoroughly scanned, and we will know our targets. whether they are at sea, whether they are in air, whether they are underwater, or whether they are deep inside. We have the capability, you know it. We have a full array, right from sea guardians to the P8Is to the two carriers which you are talking. And they have full complement of MiG-29Ks, and our pilots are well trained. We have been doing exercises with the foreign navies. In fact, they want to come and do the exercises. So we are very clear about it. Now it is only a matter of time. And with this kind of flexibility and operational freedom, which has been given by the topmost authority, you just wait and watch. And I will not speculate that what will be done, how it will be done, but we have seen it. We are capable of doing absolute, like during the Kargil war, the whole traffic lines were choked. There was no supply of fuel. There was no cargo coming in. There was no supplies coming from anywhere in the world. So that is what Indian Navy is. And today we are one of the best navies in the world, if not the best, comparable to the best. So now when the freedom has been given to the chief, and of course, all three chiefs and the CDS were there. So I totally believe that this is going to be unprecedented kind of a situation, and which is going to give us results whenever they decide.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the Navy chief, Captain?
Look, he is the man who has served everywhere, right from his younger days. He has been on the destroyers. He has commanded a corvette. Then he has commanded a stealth frigate. He was the fleet commander. He has been all over, whatever you can think of. He has done that, and he has performed extremely well. Whether it was in the plans, or whether it was he was ACNS PNP, policy and plans, which look forward to the requirements of the Navy deep into the next 10 years, 15 years, like that. So he understands that part. He has been there as the vice chief. He has been there as the CNC of the Western Naval Command. So he's got the pulse of everyone. He is a very, very competent man who has done all his courses abroad, and a towering personality, as General Bakshi said, very intelligent, on the feet, always, available to his commanders. So there is no question. And in fact, I must tell you, in the same breath, all the three CNCs and the vice chief are, unbeatable kind of a combination, which is available to us today.
Okay, General Bakshi, let me come out to you. Offense is at one level, of course, but we also have to have the capacity for defense. Now, Israel has an Iron Dome. How close are we to acquiring that capability?
Rahul, that's a good question. The point that we must remember is Israel is just about 28,000 square kilometers in size.
That's right.
We have millions of square kilometers, and to that extent, we cannot hope to get that density of air defenses. But we therefore go in more for point defense instead of across the country kind of a grid, right? But the good news is that in 2019, we did not have the S-400. The S-400 Triumph is one of the best surface-to-air missiles in the world. Rahul, fired from India or from Indian soil, it can hit as far away as 400 kilometers. That means tackle the Pakistani aircraft as they rise from the Pakistani airfields.
Wow.
They'll get shot up in their own airspace. That is what is worrying Pakistan the most, right? In 2019, it had flaunted its F-16s, and at that time we did not have beyond visual range missiles. It's a pity, and unfortunately we lost Abhinandan's MiG-21, but not before. Even without a BVR missile, he had shot down an F-16. Now we have the Meteor on the Rafale, 100 kilometers plus range. We have the Astra 1, 2 and the 3 is on the way, right? With these we have a capability of beyond 100 kilometers. The Aram on the F-16 is a range of 60 to 70 kilometers. We can shoot them even before they can, realize that they are, being aimed at. That is what is worrying Pakistan. That is the significant edge, and thank God we got those 36 Rafales. Thank God. I think all credit to the present government that they, even after the whole deal had crashed,
Yes.
with the Congress government saying we don't have enough money to do this, and manufacturing was the problem. Hopefully we are going to get 110 Rafales now,
Yes.
and they will be manufactured hopefully in India with the Dassault Reliance at Nagpur, and they have promised to give us 2 aircraft a month, and that means in the next 5 years we'll have 100 more Rafales. 10
Okay.
we'll get off the table. That will give us the overmatching technological capabilities. The Rafale M has come with the Navy. That will be there in about 3 to 4 years time, 5 years time at the most, and then we have overmatching capabilities,
Okay.
which are a sine qua non for deterrence by punishment.
Okay, deterrence by punishment. Now, this word has been used, Sanju Verma, constantly, deterrence by punishment. But we also need to impose continuous deterrence costs on Pakistan. We have found that in the past, we've sort of carried out some operations against the Pakistanis, then sort of gone in for ceasefires at the border, this, that, the other. There's suddenly, a romanticized idealism that gets in. Let's play with them, cricket, etc., etc. Let's get their, movie stars to act in our films. Now, of course, we've taken all these steps. So, I want to understand, are we today looking at a sustained philosophy of imposing deterrence and costs on Pakistan, even politically? This is the fundamental question. And how well prepared are we?
Rahul, first and foremost, I have to tell you that hearing all the 3 panelists before me was such a pleasure, especially General Bakshi. I mean, the way he elucidated what our strengths were, it was a learning experience for me. I was listening so intently. It was like a classroom where you're the student and you have the experts teaching you. But I have to say this to you. I'll take off from what General Bakshi said. Thank God that we never caved in and we signed that Rafale deal of 36 Rafale jets, and 48 hours back, the Modi government has signed another deal worth 63,000 crore for 36 plus more Rafale jets. And while you have experts on your panel, I remember Rafale खरीदने से पहले लोग कहते थे, why not purchase a F-16? Why Rafale? My limited homework tells me that Rafale is a twin-engine aircraft and F-16 is a single-engine one. Rafale has a better combat radius. Rafale has higher load-taking capacity. The load-taking capacity of a Rafale is 24,500 kgs, whereas that of a F-16 is only 21,272 kgs. Rafale also has more advanced missile systems. And let's not forget Agni 5, our intercontinental ballistic missile, which has a range of more than 5,000 kilometers. But, beyond Agni, beyond Rafale, beyond the fact that just 96 hours back, the INS Surat conducted the MRSAM successfully. The medium-range surface-to-air missile test was conducted successfully. I'm not even getting into that domain. I always believe that eventually it is the political will that matters. And does Narendra Modi have the political will? We have the wherewithal. We have the defense capabilities. But is the political will there? And while this may sound cliched, I will not get tired of repeating the surgical strike of 2016 happened because we had Narendra Modi at the helm. The Balakot strike of 2019 to avenge Pulwama happened because you had Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister. And trust me, Rahul, this is not rhetoric. I'm not, saber rattling or rabble rousing. But thank God we have Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the helm of affairs today. Pahalgam will be avenged in ways that you and me cannot even imagine. As Prime Minister openly said at Madhubani last week, each and every perpetrator, terrorist, oppressor will be identified, tracked and punished. But I have to just end by saying one thing. Please bear with me for 20 seconds. There are a lot of Congressy handlers who are saying our defense capabilities are not much to write home about. Prime Minister Modi's Make in India has failed. And this is a small paragraph very quickly which I want to read out from the PID. And these are all largely made in India. Dhanush artillery gun system, advanced artillery gun system called ATAGS, main battle tank Arjun, light specialist vehicles, high mobility vehicles, light combat aircraft Tejas. We of course imported the S-400 from Russia in 2018 despite pressure. Light utility helicopters, Akash missile system, weapon locating radar, 3D tactical control radar, software defined radar system. All these basically tell you one thing. Prime Minister Modi was never ever complacent. We were always well prepared. But when we attack, how intensely,
of course,
in what proportion, the timing will be ours. The timing will be decided by Prime Minister Modi without any fear of cover.
Well, he's authorized the military to do as it wants. Sanju Verma, thank you. But look, I am wanting to move to another part of this debate. But before that, I want to quickly bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Now, the second part of this debate, viewers, is about unity, it's about will, it's about the will to stand together. I'll come to that, we'll come to that, but let's just park that there. But Dr. Ranganathan, I have to ask you this. Sanju Verma made this point, that we are lucky that we have Prime Minister Modi at the helm. You're an Indian citizen. Are we in the best hands? Do Indian citizens like you feel that we're in the best hands? Because as I said, it's all going to come down to those 8-10 men. And hopefully a woman or two. The finance minister and others, because leadership is all that it's about. And the Prime Minister has proven to be Churchillian. He has proven to be somebody in the past with great resolve.
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists, all of whom, and I include Sanju in there, are experts. I speak as a layman. You know, if the images of the Prime Minister meeting the chiefs of our armed forces wasn't bad enough for Pakistan, I'm sure listening to your amazing primer and General Bakshi and Gaurav would have finished the job for them. And what can I say about General Bakshi and his roar right now? Can you imagine? He is roaring as a veteran. What would the situation be of the enemy when he was in the trenches 30 years ago? So my salute to them. And as far as my friend Gaurav is concerned, I can confess that both of us are batchmates. And the situation of Pakistan right now is what our situation was in 1989 on day one in college when we were ragged. So, but you know, as a layman, again, I speak, and Sanju is absolutely right. We are in most capable hands. And can I also praise one amazing Bharat Ratna, literally, Dr. Kalam, because in 1994, he identified our lacuna. He said that 70% of our defense expenditure is on arms that we import. I hope that in 30 years from now, the pie chart would have flipped and it would be only 30-70. And lo and behold, right now it is exactly 30-70. So yes, the government and everyone involved have done a sterling job. How do I see this going, given the nuclear bluff that for 30 years Pakistan held over us like a Damocles sword? In fact, if you remember, in the wake of 26/11, when we sought permission to bomb terror hideouts, the Indian Air Force, the Prime Minister said, forbade it. So that was because of the nuclear bluff. Well, Modi called it off famously in Balakot. Having said that, Pakistan is a cornered rat. And we always vary of someone who's got nothing to lose because they cannot win a conventional war. So my hunch right now is that, yes, we have great weapons, but our greatest weapon, as the greatest weapon of any nation, is moral rectitude.
Yes.
We will go into this war with our heads held high that we are undertaking a moral and just war. I think we're going to take out all terror targets. That includes Dawood's den in Karachi, that includes Hafiz Saeed. We are not going to just limit ourselves to Kashmir or Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So this time it's going to be no holds barred. As far as attacking Pakistani military is concerned, we have experts sitting there. Personally, I think that the time hasn't yet come because of still that nuclear bluff. And the worst case scenario, as a layman again, Pakistan is going to exercise that bluff possibly by nuclear bombing unpopulated areas of India.
Well, look, anyhow, Major Arya, I have exactly 30 seconds before I move on to the other half, and I want to ask you this nuclear bluff that we are presented with. And, there's been a madcap minister there who's also still talked about unleashing nuclear weapons and this, that, the other. What do you make of this nuclear bluff? And India also has this no first use policy. Does that hold us back in some way? Should we review it?
Absolutely, we should get rid of it. But as far as Pakistan's nuclear threats are concerned, just see who are the people making it. There is one minister of railways, some minister of water, some minister of food supplies. I mean, where is the army chief? The army chief controls the nuclear button in Pakistan, and he's hiding in Kabul for the past 4 days, attending a parade that has never ended. Doesn't look like ending for the past 4 or 5 days. So the thing is that people can continue to say that you see, when you go up the escalation ladder, it's all about who blinks first. And this is something that we did wrong in Balakot. You see, when we attacked them and they send their F-16s, we should have, again, it's just applying more and more pressure till the time the enemy buckles, Rahul.
Okay, look, I just need to move on very quickly. And this is important. The day Pahalgam happened, viewers, we knew that we needed to stand together as one. All of us citizens knew this. All of us. Unfailingly. All of us. We knew that we couldn't even give Pakistan a whiff of an impression that the nation is divided. And to be fair, even almost all opposition parties have decided to back the Prime Minister, except one. Except one, viewers. And you know who? Look at what the Congress posted today. Look to the right of your screens. Sartan se juda imagery. Sartan se juda imagery. Coarse. The imagery of savages, viewers. It's a metaphor used by Pakistan-aligned Islamist terrorists and hate groups. The Congress party today finds it kosher to borrow from that coarse Islamist terrorist imagery to criticize the Prime Minister. Pakistan High Commissioner, senior official in London, taunted Indians with that Sartan se juda sign there. He did that. Can you see it, viewers? Sartan se juda slogans are chanted before hate attacks on Hindus in India. This is the Congress mindset for you. Let's go back to that image. That it is, viewers. Look at Israel. Yes, there was an intel failure on October 7th. 2023, we know that. But the nation, including all politicians, rallied behind Netanyahu. No one in Israel gave a quarter to the enemy. But here the Congress is giving Pakistan so much to be happy about, so much so that Pakistan is busy retweeting the Congress post to mock the Prime Minister. I want you to see that post, viewers. You'll be shocked. That's Chaudhry Fawad Hussain, a minister. He says, जिम्मेदारी के समय गायब. He's put that out. He's called it naughty Congress, and we deliberately, viewers, blanked out the taunt that Hussain chap, Chaudhry Hussain, who's also probably hiding in his lavatory, appended to that tweet. Former Pakistan minister Fawad Chaudhry. He likes and reposted a photo with a hashtag Naughty Congress. Can you believe it, viewers? Naughty Congress. Couldn't the Congress have chosen a less visceral visual metaphor to make their political point? What do you think the Congress is trying to say here by showing the Prime Minister's beheaded body? Think about it, viewers. It then deletes this tweet after the backlash. So it realizes that it has been naughty, to paraphrase Pakistan. It deletes the tweet. The PM Gayab message, this post deleted. It showed a decapitated Prime Minister Modi. Sheikh Amir of the Congress is here with me. Sheikh Amir, are you ashamed of yourself tonight as a congressman? Do you want to quit your party and say, this is not in my name? I'm ashamed of this party. That in a time like this is disowning its own Prime Minister of this country. Are you ashamed?
Well, Rahul, I believe that such a post should not have been shared because we know how media will misinterpret it. The way it is being said, Sar Tan Se Juda. There is nothing like that. Let me give you one example. That few days back, Rahul Gandhi came to Kashmir and he met the victims of Pahalgam attack. And
then why has the Congress deleted this, sir?
No, let me.
No, Sheikh Amir, I'm asking you. Listen, I don't want to listen to what Rahul Gandhi did and what he didn't do. I can see what he did. He's been quiet as a mouse when his political party, perhaps, no, hang on. The media cell of the Congress party which reports to him. He's the closest to the head of the media cell. You know this, I know this. He oversees it.
There was no debate. When Rahul Gandhi was
that media cell puts this out and the Congress now deletes it. Why is the Congress deleting it if the media has made such a big deal about it? How is the media misinterpreted? There's a torso there without a head and we know whose head is missing. It's written there.
There is nothing like Sar Tan Se Juda. You don't allow me to
There's nothing like Sar Tan Se Juda.
When the pic was shown, Rahul Gandhi meeting
Are you a whitewasher? Are you a whitewasher of Islamist extremism? I'm asking you, are you a whitewasher of Islamist extremism? You don't know what Sar Tan Se Juda is?
No, it should
are
not
you
be
joking?
taken like that. No. He's our
Are you
Prime
serious?
Minister. He's our Prime Minister. He's the Prime Minister of India.
Well, that's how you represent him.
No. Should not have been
then
done.
Why haven't people from that cell been sacked? Why haven't people from the Congress media sleeper cell been absolutely sacked? I'm asking you this question. Is there no accountability?
What did you say
At
about
a
when
time,
Rahul Gandhi was? What do you say about when Rahul Gandhi was shown as meeting Talibanis in Kashmir after Pahalgam attack when he came to Kashmir?
My dear friend, he met
a
supporter of Pakistan, a person who actually backs POK's occupation.
Whom did he met?
Ilan Umar. Do you not know this?
Who?
Should I show you the pictures? Ilan Umar.
Why are you jumping? What do
you mean? Why am I jumping?
Congress.
It's a fact. At a time such as this, when we need to be united, you're sitting there and giving excuses. Hang on, let me bring in Sanju Verma of the BJP. Listen, this is not my beef. Let me tell you, as an Indian citizen, I expect tonight, viewers, all of us to unite around the flag of this country. This is a very serious leg of this entire enterprise tonight. We can't have fifth columnists anymore. Sanju Verma, please respond to this gentleman. It's a media creation, he says. Yes, it's a Congress social media creation.
Rahul, first and foremost, let me make one thing very clear. I know there are times you don't like us taking names about people who are not present on your panel. I take full responsibility for what I'm saying. While this despicable and deplorable tweet with a decapitated torso of Prime Minister Modi has been subsequently deleted, I want to ask Rahul Gandhi. In the CWC meeting, you say we are in solidarity with the Modi government. At the all-party meeting, Rahul Gandhi says we are in solidarity with the Modi government. And then what happens? In a classic case of good cop, bad cop, Supriya Shrinet, who is the chairperson of the Congress's social media team, Jairam Ramesh and Pavan Khera, the duo who manage the communications of the Congress party. I want to ask Rahul Gandhi, could such a despicable post have been posted without the approval of Rahul Gandhi? Does Supriya Shrinet have the audacity to do so without a nod and a yes from the Karta Dharta of the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi? In this case, Jairam Ramesh and Pavan Khera repeatedly abused the Prime Minister, calling him non-biological in every post of theirs. Are you telling me Rahul Gandhi is oblivious to the fact that his close confidants are abusing the Prime Minister 24/7? So the first point is, Rahul Gandhi, if you really believe in what you say, कि हम तो सरकार के साथ खड़े हैं, showcase that by sacking Supriya Shrinet, sacking Jairam Ramesh, sacking Pavan Khera, but more importantly, Rahul, my simple question to Sheikh Amir. There's a video of Sheikh Amir which has been doing the rounds and has been viral last week, where a journalist asks him, and Sheikh Amir, in response to what happened in Pahalgam, says, मुझे तरक्की से कोई मतलब नहीं.
This is a complete lie.
मुझे तरक्की से कोई मतलब नहीं.
Sheikh Amir, don't lie. Don't lie. I'm going to show you that video right now.
Can I finish? Rahul, can I finish?
For a TRP
Can I finish?
for popularity, just
Rahul, I need to finish what I was saying.
Yeah, please.
Can I not be heckled? Sheikh Amir is pointedly asked, and I repeat, your viewers should know this. Sheikh Amir, जो एक कांग्रेस के नेता हैं, उस वीडियो में एक जर्नलिस्ट को कहते हैं, मुझे कश्मीर में तरक्की से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, मुझे डेवलपमेंट से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, मुझे टूरिज्म से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। एंड देन ही गोज ऑन टू से, आप हिजाब की बात करोगे और आप चाहते हो मैं टूरिज्म की बात करूं, आप अफगान पर हमला करोगे और आप चाहते हो मैं टूरिज्म की बात करूं, आप नमाज पर हमला करोगे और आप चाहते हो मैं टूरिज्म की बात करूं। दिस इज अ रैडिकल हिंदू फोबिक इस्लामिस्ट who's currently on the panel, and he refuses to admit that Pahalgam terror attack happened because of support from OGWs.
Viewers,
and who are these OGWs? Rahul, 10 seconds more, please. Punjab shares a 546 kilometer border with Pakistan. Gujarat shares a 500.
I think we've lost Sanju Verma there. A signal froze.
Rajasthan shares a 1035 kilometer.
Yes.
सारा का सारा टेरर खाली एक ही रीजन से क्यों आता है?
Okay.
Because there are OGWs.
Okay, there are OGWs. General Bakshi and Dr. Ranganathan. General Bakshi, you're a soldier. You're a soldier. You know this better than I do. That nations are never undone by enemies. They are undone by enemies within. What do you make of this? Let us be accused. The media is being today accused of suggesting that this is Sartan se juda imagery. What do you make of it, sir, as an army man? And I'll ask Dr. Ranga the same question.
You know, this is despicable. Despicable. You know, Rahul, in all countries of the world, whenever there is a threat of war, you know, we sink our differences, we unite all as Indians.
Yeah.
Hum sab Bhartiya hain, as the NCC song goes, right? National Cadet Corps song. We are all Indians now. We forget our petty differences, our political point scoring. We behave and act like mature Indians who, you know, who rally to the flag, and they rally under the leadership that is now in power, because they are the people who have to take the decisions and bear the consequences. It's an onerous load. So you must back them up 110%, so that as a nation we triumph. We triumph as a nation. I am amazed. You know, initially we had the all parties meeting, the right noises were made.
Yeah.
But within days there was a flip back to that constant, you know, Congress echoing of the Pakistani propaganda
there's
material.
There's one chap,
which
General,
is unacceptable.
General Bakshi, there's
man.
one chap who comes out and says, if Pakistan is saying they're innocent, then we should believe Pakistan. Dr. Ranganathan, this is what is being said. Can the Congress be trusted to...
Rahul, if I may say...
Yes.
No, Rahul, if I may just add one line.
Yes.
You know, they are calling the victims of this massacre, the poor girl who after 6 days lost her husband, they were celebrating the honeymoon, they are calling them liars.
Can you believe
You are adding insult to injury, man. I mean, that was something that shook me. Shook me with those the cries of the girl, the wailing of that.
I think you were there, General Bakshi, on that show.
You now call them liars?
When that Congress spokesperson said that, you were there on that show, and I've never seen you get more upset in my life. So, Dr. Ranganathan, can the Congress be trusted to demonstrate unity of purpose? Can we ever expect that? I'm asking you simply this question.
No, look, let's be honest, Rahul. General Rawat was right about his 2.5 front theory. India faces as much internal danger as it does external. And you know, when Russia attacks Ukraine, ban ordinary Russians from football tournaments and singing contests. But when Pakistan attacks India, kills our Jawans, launches terror attacks upon terror attacks on our soil. Hey, come on, be sensible. Allow ordinary Pakistanis to play cricket and act in Indian films and sing all the way to the bank. Rahul, please understand, hatred for Modi has transmogrified into hatred for India. We are looking at the hyena outside our home, but ignoring the elephant in the room whose mahout is Congress. Now, Congress is denying the Sar Tan Se Juda headless symbolism of the Gayab poster. Fine. It says that the font of the poster is resembling what a new upcoming film is going to be. Give them the benefit of the doubt. But how does it reflect the reality? Modi has anything been but gayab. He cut short his trip to Saudi Arabia and has been on top of things ever since. You want Modi to guarantee safety to India's citizens. You want him to combat terrorism. But then you condemn him for conducting surgical strikes on foreign soil. You condemn him for going after designated terrorists on foreign soil. In 2019, you had Congress leaders doubting Balakot, even claiming Pulwama attack was hatched by Modi to win 2019 elections. And now you have Congress leaders denying that the Pahalgam terrorists murdered on the basis of religion, demanding recitation of Islamic kalma, pulling down trousers to confirm and condemn only kafirs. You have Congress leaders saying suspending Indus water treaties just to impress citizens, saying war is not the solution, giving a message essentially that terror state like Pakistan can keep perpetrating terror on our soil without fear of consequences. Cushioning, Rahul, Islamic terror in the name of appeasement. This is what is happening.
Well, let me tell you, viewers, today a Congress politician from Karnataka, minutes after this particular, look at this. I mean, look at this post. This is supposed to be a mature, India's oldest political party, viewers. The party of Gandhi. They're speaking the language of Jinnah. And there is a person there from Karnataka, tall leader, yes, one second, who says, forget about all those quotes that you are reading. That's just one. They say that now the response to Pahalgam is being timed to the Bihar election. So give a whole chronology, how Balakot was for the 2019 election, before that it was for some other election, and now this is being pinned to the Bihar election. This is the mentality of the Congress. Yes, very quickly, yes.
Yeah, Rahul, I said we are ignoring the elephant in the room.
Rahul, we are all aware of.
Yeah.
Rahul, can I just read out one tweet?
Yes.
Which is very, very important.
Yeah.
You've spoken about Dinesh Gundu Rao. We know about Siddaramaiah, DK Hariprasad, all giving Pakistan a clean check.
Yeah.
We know about Tariq Ahmed, Karra of JK Congress, giving Pakistan a clean check.
Yeah.
There is one person, he doesn't deserve to be spoken of on your show, but his hypocrisy needs to be showcased, and hence your audience needs to hear this very quickly. Blah, 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 blah. Modi did not do this, Modi did not do that. But then at 8:21 a.m. on the 25th of April 2025, Saket Gokhale, a Rajya Sabha member of TMC, he says, I'm just going to read the last part of it. Just days ago, 26 innocent Indians were murdered by Islamists and all political parties came together, blah, blah, blah. But Modi didn't feel that 26 Indian lives are important because for the shameless man Modi, this is the word he uses, because for the shameless man Modi, every death in uniform, he says, in uniform or of a civilian is merely an opportunity for Modi to ask for votes and to campaign for elections. Basically, he has called the sitting Prime Minister of India a shameless man, and not one person from the Trinamool Congress has castigated him, condemned this tweet. So why does Mamata Banerjee then say we are standing in solidarity?
No, you're talking about a member of parliament who owes 50 lakhs because he was sued by the wife of a minister for slander. Anyhow, listen, let's not even dredge these cockroaches. Forget it. One minute. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, final words to you viewers. Yeah.
Yes, as I was saying that we are ignoring the elephant in the room whose mahout is Congress. Let me give you a live proof demonstration of that.
Okay.
There is a Congress spokesperson on your panel. Please ask him to condemn tens of thousands of Kashmiris collecting for the funeral of terrorists Burhan Wani and Nasrallah. Ask him to condemn it.
Will you condemn that, Sheikh Amir?
Yes, I condemn all those who sympathize with the terrorists. I condemn all those who are the supporters of the terrorists who killed our 28 martyrs.
No, I'm asking you about Nasrallah.
No, funeral of Burhan Wani.
Funeral of Burhan Wani.
The question was asked regarding Burhan Wani. What are you saying?
It was asked.
Yeah.
That was the question. Condemn all those people who showed up for the funeral of Burhan Wani.
Yes, all those people who are the supporters and the sympathizers of terrorists or terrorism in
Of
Kashmir.
Burhan Wani.
Of Burhan Wani. Name.
Yes, I condemn them. Yes,
Okay,
I condemn them.
I'm glad.
Burhan Wani.
One second. At least we've got one person. At least we've got one person from the larger ecosystem
But
tonight.
Rahul,
But I'll tell you one thing, viewers. I'll tell you one thing. This is not. No, one second, Sheikh. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, viewers. Tonight, let this be a salutary lesson that we are going into a very, very tough period, a phase where we all need to be standing together now. Otherwise, this is not going to happen. We're going to unravel. Pakistan is waiting. I leave it at this.
Presented by
place at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, which is the Prime Minister's residence. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, NSA Ajit Doval and External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar are all at that key meeting that is currently underway. We are trying to get you more details, but the Prime Minister's residence is where hectic parleys are currently on, is what we're learning. Akash joins us to get us more details. Yes, Akash. Akash, if you can hear me, we're given to understand there's a key huddle that's currently underway at the Prime Minister's residence. We'll try and reconnect that line with my colleague Akash and get you more details of this meeting. But what we're gathering right now is that Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is currently at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval are all present in that particular meeting. The Chief of Defence Staff as well is in attendance for this particular meeting, is what we're learning. There is a key meeting that is currently underway at the Prime Minister's residence. India, of course, has been hitting Pakistan diplomatically. Several diplomatic steps have been taken, even though the chorus for retribution, for avenging the Pahalgam attack is growing louder within the country and from ally nations of India around the world as well. At such a time, there are several parleys that are being held in Jammu and Kashmir to review security. There are several meetings that are taking place here in the national capital as well, and one such huddle is currently taking place at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, in fact, here in the national capital. NSA Doval, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, the Chief of Defence Staff and External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar are all present in that meeting. Next steps as far as policy against Pakistan, next steps against Pakistan in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack are all being discussed as we speak.
You're on Take 3 Shots. I'm Anand Narasimhan, and even as we speak, Rahul Shivshankar, Zakir Jacob are with us here in the studio, and the NSA, we have the Raksha Mantri present there, and we also have Prime Minister Narendra Modi at LKM. There is this high-level meeting. The CDS is present there. So are we moving?
The External Affairs Minister is also there.
Yeah, so he's also come. So big meeting. So everybody's been saying what's happening, what's the punitive action, is there something kinetic that's going to happen? Dr. Shashi Tharoor just now said we should expect something kinetic because this has happened 15, 16 times, so something strong has to happen, punitive has to happen. The CCS meeting is expected on Wednesday, that's tomorrow. Yeah. So now if these people are in a huddle, what does that imply? Zaka?
Look, I've been hearing sort of unconfirmed reports since morning that there is action happening at multiple locations in Jammu and Kashmir. Either this is a taking stock meeting, which explains why the Defence Minister is there, the CDS is there, the National Security Advisor is there, and obviously the External Affairs Minister is there because clearly whatever action is being taken has international ramifications, certainly has diplomatic ramifications. These are some of your highest points persons when it comes to India's national security. So it is for two things, I would imagine. One is to try and assess what has been going on in what we've been hearing about these counter-terrorism operations that are happening in different parts of Jammu and Kashmir, and two, of course, to set the stage for tomorrow's Cabinet Committee on Security. I think both of these things will be discussed in today's meeting, and I think it's a very, very important meeting that's happening.
But earlier in the day, we've had the DGBSF, the Assam Rifles, the SSP, and all the para forces, all of them having a meeting. There has been a conversation there. Rahul Shivshankar, your reading on this. This is on a day when the External Affairs Minister has had a conversation with Cyprus and Greece. Siddhant was telling us this information. So clearly, if Turkey is openly backing Pakistan, we are going to some of the other nations around the place to say, all right, we're going to do. So there is a lot of psyops that is going on. But along with this shadow boxing, are we seeing something move on ground?
Look, let's separate this into the immediate steps, the long-term steps, and the mid-term steps. So when you're talking about India now opening or perhaps deepening equations with countries like Cyprus, Greece, etc., to sort of poke Turkey in the eye, those are slightly longer-term policies, decision-making, strategies, tactics. Let's park those aside. This particular meeting is clearly to take stock of the security situation as it exists. Also, of course, India's own defense options, its own offensive options, the readiness, the planning for it.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma.